Now, from CBS News Miami, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Welcome to Facing South Florida. I'm Eliott Rodriguez. Jim DeFede is off this week. Today is Father's Day, a day to honor fathers, fatherhood, and parental bonds. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 17.4 million children in this country are currently living without a male figure in the house. That's 1 in 4 children with no biological father, no stepfather, and no adoptive father. So today's program will focus on the current crisis of fatherhood. My first guest represents an organization providing father figures to at-risk boys since 1993. 5,000 Role Models of Excellence offers mentorship and guidance, tapping the potential in all boys to help them overcome obstacles to succeed in life. Paul Wilson is an executive mentor with the group. He also happens to be the son of the founder, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. Paul Wilson, it's good to talk to you. This interview will air on Father's Day. So first of all, let me start things off by saying Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Happy Father's Day to you as well.
Thank you very much. And before we talk about the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence and your involvement with this group, let me just ask you, what does Father's Day mean to you?
No, as I've gotten older, the feeling around Father's Day for me has changed, right? At one point, it was about celebration. When I was a new father, just super happy to be the father of 2 incredible sons. And my son's birthday actually is on Saturday, so it's always falling around on Father's Day weekend, and that was the greatest gift that I could have. But as I've gotten older, it's more about reflection, right? And it's more about looking back on the mistakes that were made, as a father, trying to figure it out, going through the process of turning young boys into men in this world that we're living in and trying to get them to understand the importance of morals and values and ethics. So sitting back and just kind of reflecting on their accomplishments and where they are now. That's what Father's Day for me personally now means, right? I get to sit back and just reflect on that. And they ask me all the time, what do you want for Father's Day? And I tell them, you already gave it to me. You give me the power to be able to call myself your dad and point at you and brag about you and your accomplishments and all the things that you've been able to achieve.
That's great. Do you get concerned about what's happening now with fatherhood and the number of young boys and girls, but let's focus on boys right now, who don't have a father figure in their lives?
Yeah, and that's always been a concern for me, right? In my experience, the father is the nucleus of the family, right? The foundation of the family. And I grew up, in a single parent household. My father passed away when I was very young. And so, having to navigate through this world and figure it out, it wasn't very easy. I was lucky enough to have the mother that I have and the program that she created, the 5,000 Role Models. So I had a bunch of fathers to kind of step into that role for me when I needed it the most. But that is a very difficult road for young men to navigate, growing up, without a father or a father figure in their lives to be an image of emulation for them.
Okay, so in the interest of full disclosure, your mother is Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who founded this organization, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me
Yes, sir.
about I've talked to Frederica about it, and she's done such a wonderful job. But do you remember how old were you when she started it, and what led her to do it?
Well, she started it actually when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade at Skyway Elementary, which is now Dr. Frederica S. Wilson Elementary / Skyway Elementary. But she started this program as an elementary school principal back in 1988, 89 was the first iterations of the program at this little elementary school at the tip of Carroll City at the time, where she was tired of seeing young men, particularly minority males, right? Black and brown males, falling victim to the criminal justice system at such an early age and falling victim to lives of crime, etc. So she rounded up the husbands of her sorority sisters and told them, hey, I need your help. I need you to show up at my school. I'm going to bring all the kids, all the young men into the cafeteria. I want you to bring any old ties that you have. At the time, we didn't have a signature tie, right? It was just the idea around these young men putting on a shirt, putting on a tie, feeling like something, right? She understood the power of that, the power of these images of emulation, these men, these businessmen, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, whatever they were at the time, coming into this school, showering these young men with love. She knew that it would have a positive impact and a positive effect.
How is that program impacting young men?
Well, 5,000 role models, we've always looked at things as fatherhood beyond biology, right? You don't have to be a blood relative or blood related to a young man to play that role in their lives or some version of that role, right? And so we always focus on, being with them shoulder to shoulder, being realistic mentors for them, people that they actually can call on, people that they actually can depend on, right? For advice, for encouragement, and most importantly, to hold them accountable, right? That's the whole foundation of the role models program, to step into the lives of these young men where in many instances, Eliott, they have a father, right? And we're embraced by the fathers that they have, and they encourage us to help them raise these young men.
Paul, if there's somebody out there watching this interview and they may know a boy or a young man who could benefit from this program, how do they go about joining?
Oh, absolutely. So what you want to do is, first of all, the program runs in Miami-Dade County Public Schools, right? We're in over 100 different schools in various levels, elementary, middle, and high. My advice would be to contact your school, whether it's the counselor or an administrator there, ask if the program is there, and find that every school has a site director, a person who is responsible for enrolling new students in the program. If the school does not have a program, that's a good opportunity for you as a parent to have your voice be heard and let them know that you think that that particular respective school location would benefit from a 5,000 role model chapter. And you can also visit the website, www.5000rolemodels.com. You can also call the office at 305-995-2451 and speak to anyone that's there if you have any questions.
Fantastic. All right, Paul Wilson, last question. What are your plans for Father's Day?
Oh man, I get to relax with my family and hang out and have a great time with my sons. Like I said, my oldest is turning 19 on Saturday before, and even though he's not here with me, I know I'll be communicating with him, and I just look forward to spending time with my sons and my wife and celebrating and being celebrated as a father. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of phone calls from my quote unquote sons across Miami and beyond, wishing me a happy Father's Day. And that's probably going to be the thing that makes me smile the hardest.
You know what? That sounds like a fantastic Father's Day to me. Paul Wilson, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
When we come back, he's an international singing sensation, a Miami icon, and a father of 6. Willie Chirino joins me next.